Welcome to this short clip that will show you how to use models to refine a design idea. One of the best ways to use models during refinement is to work around the actual product, the actual thing that your product has to hold. So in this case, we're designing something to hold sauce bottles. This is particularly useful if you are not confident or don't enjoy measuring and working out the maths of your design. Using the actual products and working around them can work really well. So you'll notice during this video that there's minimal measuring involved, and it's all about taking the scale and the proportion from the sizes of the bottles. Now, from looking at our card modelling techniques from before, you'll remember the techniques like using a tab. So once I've got my sizes here for the base part of my design, I want to make sure I've got a little folding tab on each side. So I've just measured 10mm, about a finger breadth. I'm going to cut that out, and then I'm going to use that other good card modelling technique that we have practiced using scoring to make sure I get a nice neat fold. You'll notice at this point that I pick up my bottles and test that they're going to fit in that shelf area, in that space that I've got now that I've got it 3D. Remember, our models are always there for testing and problem solving. So the next stage is to get the piece of material that I'm going to need for my back piece. So I'm going to take the sizes for the width that I had used previously, so it will fit in with the shelf. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sit the bottle where the shelf would be, and I'm going to take the heights of the bottle straight from there, and I'm going to use the tallest one to give me my overall size. Now that I have my back piece, I want to put the design on there that I had planned. The design brief that we've been given is that this condiment holder is going to be used in the Transport Museum. So it's going to have a little bit of a kind of sailboat shape. So I need the centre for that. An easy way to find the centre without measuring is to cross the diagonals. Remember, the example that we're showing today is just trying to do minimal measuring. I'm going to use that centre line as a line of symmetry to just sketch out the very basic shape of the sailboat for the design, and then I'm going to use that to kind of get the proportion on the other side and then straighten it up with a ruler. Before I go any further, that I've got all the pieces cut out, I'll just do a quick check that the height of the bottle and the height of the back looks the way that I want it to look. Moving on to my final piece, I'm going to just take the height of the shelf off the back piece so that I've got both of these the exact same in my design. I'm then going to take the height of the labels of the bottles. One of the things that I wanted to think about is kind of waves of the sea that's going along the front, and I wanted to make sure that you could still see the labels of the bottles there. That was an important functional reason to have that there, so I wanted to just get a marker for that. So now it's time to actually start joining everything together. Hot glue gun would probably be the most secure joining technique for this, but thinking to what you're most likely to have at home, tape is being used for this one. So you'll see that this model's struggling to keep itself held up. We definitely need to include some ribs in here from our previous card modelling techniques. So I'm just using a bit of card that I'd already cut off, something that would have otherwise been going in the bin, to take out a small piece to use as a rib. So now that we're complete, I can test the sizes. Now, bear in mind, I am not testing the strength of this structure or how well the sauce is supported. I'm purely testing sizes and proportion with this one. As with all models, take photographs into your folio and annotate them. Now that your model is complete, you should measure the key dimensions from it and include that in your annotation.